Here's the final of a photo I took. This is Paul Fields in Oak Park, Illinois. And this is the original. I'm going to do that again. Here's the final, and this is the original. And I'm taking bad photos for you so I could teach you how to make your bad photos into good photos. That's my slogan. My name's Paxton, by the way. And so in this photo, let's talk about it. And I generally let the picture tell me what to do, and I'll tell you what that means in a second. First off, you have way too much brick, right? So the subject matter is Paul Phil's Paul Phil. Um, isn't that wasn't that from Seinfeld? Uh, funny thing. Anyway, this is a subject matter, and look at the size of it compared to the rest of the stuff in the photo. Like it's smaller than it's about the same size as the road, which is incredibly boring, and it's smaller than the building above it. So we have to fix that. We have all this road we want to get rid of. Your brain doesn't need that. We just need a little bit here to tell us it's a brick street, so we can get rid of it about down there. This is American ugliness on the street. We need to get rid of that. So, and I can't include that in the photo, so I crop there. These are my decisions. I let the photo tell me, guide the process. You cannot have high contrast areas there and there. Like this is a high contrast area because your eye is going to go there. It's not the subject matter, and there's nothing to look at. Like basically that's the logic. So we're gonna frame it just on that side of that light there. And then we have these lights coming in here, here, and here, right? And they're pointing to this one area of nothingness, which is a huge disappointment because my eye's taking the time to travel these lights and go down, and there's literally nothing there. And we can't have that. Like we can't have that disappointment. If you want to have engaging photos, you have to lead people to things that are interesting, and you have to make it clear so that they're not wondering what they're supposed to look at. If you have these lights up here, high contrast, your eye's going to go there, it's going to follow them, and it's going to end up to that point, and there's nothing there. So we're going to get rid of that, something like that. Okay, let's get to work. Somebody has to. All right, pull this up to about there. On the right-hand side, we're going to take it to there. On the left-hand side, we're going to get rid of that just on the other side of that lamp. And we're going to pull this down so we have a nice corner there with those lights. That's good enough. So, and that's the photo. That's the finished product. Not quite. We have, well, this isn't too bad. We could leave that the way it is. I'm going to get rid of that actually because it's going to make the overall subject matter bigger. Lift this up just a tad to there. I mean, this is where it gets into a style thing. You might come to a different conclusion on that. You might want a bit of that street there. I'm not going to complain about it if you do that, but I didn't want it. So you can see the Paul Phil's is much bigger in the picture than the original, and it's easy to identify the subject matter. It's easy to, okay, that's what I'm supposed to be looking at. I like the fact that here we have a corner here, and then also we have a corner here with all this darkness, and there's nothing interesting there, just a sidewalk shadow. And so we're kind of blocking this off, and it's framing the photo, the subject matter. I like the fact that this is kind of boring and very generic looking because it kind of sets the stage for the subject matter again. This very lively scene. It'd be great if there were people outside. Maybe I'll go back in the summertime and take some photos at night. So that's about it. I think for me that this just piece of brick there, although it's hard to identify as brick, it's definitely red, is enough to tell me this is as a brick street, and with these lights, these decorative lights, and the whole feel of it, and the cafe just feels very romantic if you're into romance, mysterious, and with these lights there, it's just a very overall good picture. So again, okay, this is the final. Here's the original, and you can see now very clearly after I've done this, what do you look at in the original? There's so much stuff to look at. There's so much stuff where your eye can go. You go all the way down to the right, down that street there, and all the way down to the left. You want to make it easier for your viewers to, they don't have to guess. You just point it right at them. It's obvious it was supposed to look at Paul Phil's, the restaurant, and see the people inside, or if there were people outside. If I was painting this, I would put a family in the window up here, maybe a couple in the other window. So my name is Paxton, and this is what I do. The idea is that you follow my logic, and you apply it to your own photos. You can apply it to, and the great thing about learning photo composition is that it works on really bad photos. So if you got really crappy photography, just pick up some of the tips and things I talk about and apply it to your photos, and you'd be amazed at how you can improve just crappy photography. That's my motto: improve crappy photography. So if you like this type of content, please follow along, and I'll have another video out shortly.